Haha. Good day. It is a good day because I've got one of my best sitting to my left. Looking at him right now. Always happy. I'm a happy camper when I'm hanging out with this fella. We kind of, I talk to you more than I talk to my own mother. Actually, more than I talk to a lot of people. Now that I have everybody all excited, I'll bring him in. Today, I am happy to bring to you, this is so weird, why do I always do this? I always make this so awkward. Mr. Lucas Saylor.
Thanks for having me.
How are you, sir?
Fantastic. I cannot complain.
First and foremost, I'll face you now.
Oh, yeah.
So this isn't weird. I want to thank you for all your help at the PDC, man.
Yeah,
I
no, it was
really
a blast.
appreciated it. Even like hauling everything out of there.
Yeah, I'm a team player.
Yeah, you are, man, and I appreciate the hell out of you. You and I, we do a lot of work together.
Absolutely.
And it's been a lot of fun over the last, I don't know, how long has it been now? 7 years?
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah, so
Been a
we were.
journey.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a trip. And this morning we're working on some of your material for Diamond Plus.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Which we will get into, which I'm pumped about. Mm-hmm. And obviously Fire Media Group, which covers the full other spectrum of digital marketing. Our two services, Dentist on Demand and Fire Media Group, has just become this nice little entity of solutions. Exactly. from top to bottom, and we will also get into that. I want to chat to you today. Yes, I will chat to you about what we're up to, but I'm going to pick your brain today.
Go for it.
If that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to make you feel super uncomfortable.
No problem.
If I haven't already done that with these two pink microphones. This is a leftover from the lovely Rizzio girls that I had in studio here. I should just make it that people just need to be here. It's way better.
I agree.
Yeah, face to face.
Yeah.
It's like this whole digital thing. But we're in a world now. Like, where do I put my hands even right now?
What do I do with my hands?
What do I do with them? We're in a world now that, like, without digital marketing, like I was thinking about this on the drive in here, like we've come from a world where, my folks were flipping through the yellow pages, looking through a directory of services that are, every year you get the big beast of a yellow pages.
Book.
Yeah. Now, like, how do people find business these days? And what businesses are seen these days? And that's a real tricky, interesting, complex conversation that happens, especially on, we'll talk about dentistry specific. You obviously through Fire Media Group deal with, a whole other, list of businesses, which I think kind of adds to your base of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm like just talking.
No, it's
I'm doing all the talking here.
Perfect.
But yeah, I want to just set it up. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, we've come a far away from thumbing through a yellow pages to, if you're not seen online digitally, like, there are still folks that send out the flyer. But now, this day and age, you can invest in social and in digital marketing. And yes, we're biased. Yes, and yes, I know that the flyers work. Okay. We've actually had some clients that have requested that we put them together. So that is something that we do, but you can now monitor and have a thermometer in the water with these things that you're investing in.
Absolutely. To
a science that you can now calculate what it's costing you per new patient walking through the clinic, and like I'm a broken record when I talk about this. If you don't have something set up in your practice where you're monitoring this, or you're working with a marketing agency that's not supplying you with this info, it's something that you like. Monitoring your data and knowing your business is crucial.
Absolutely. Yeah. And on that front, like, I think we've built our products to seamlessly work with each other depending on what the practice needs. For example, Dentist on Demand is perfect for getting that awareness for your clinic and getting new patients in the same form that you would with a newspaper ad or a Yellow Pages ad or a flyer, except it's scalable and you don't have to keep doing it and keep sending them out. It's far more cost effective. And with that, especially in dentistry, for 75% of your clinic's revenue, it's going to be people looking to solve a problem. And these people are on Google. They're searching for you. So the combination of Dentists on Demand pushing you out there, getting you aware in your community, and then having Fire Media Group doing your Google search side of things, collecting those leads and turning them into real patient bookings, that's where you're going to start filling up your pipeline as a clinic. And there's with Diamond Plus, it's another important differentiation to understand that there's kind of two business models in a dental clinic. There's the recurring business model, which is all about lifetime value. And these are the people who are coming in for their typical hygiene appointments. They're getting one cosmetic treatment every couple of years, and these are the people who are on Google. These are the people that need to know you exist. However, on the flip side, when you get into the cosmetic dentistry around implants and Invisalign, it's a sales model.
Yeah.
So the buying journey of someone from a hygiene perspective is very short. They're looking for you, they want to book an appointment, and they're in your business. Yeah. However, when you're selling these expensive high ticket cases like implants and Invisalign, it's a real sales business. It's a one-time purchase. You have kind of one shot to make it work. Otherwise, that lead and that marketing you're doing is going to be dead on the water.
Yeah.
So we've really built these products to serve the general patient flow of your practice, but then also create that sales system that's going to drive those big ticket revenue drivers like implants and Invisaligns in your clinic.
I could just sense your excitement. It's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we eat, breathe, and sleep this. So yeah. For folks that don't understand, Dentist on Demand is an advertisement agency. We focus on video, social media marketing. So that's our piece to it. Diamond Plus is it's focused on, just like you said, it's those high ticket sales.
Exactly.
The orthodontic treatments, the all-on-4s, the implants, that sort of thing. Oral Health put out those numbers, and you said it there, right? So 75%. So these numbers are gathered from across Canada. 75%. This is like what practice owners are claiming. 70. I'll get like I kind of like have to add more info. 75% of the clinic is the restoration and the hygiene piece of the business.
Exactly.
So if we're talking about growing a clinic over time, you need to focus on all of these things. It's and you kind of alluded to like this. The marketing stack, the strategy, it needs to be diversified. So you're attracting your hygiene patients, and you've got a sprinkling of the last 25%, which is the big tickets. Like everybody's pushing Invisalign out there. A lot of there's a lot of marketing companies that are solely focused. Their sole focus is bringing in those Invisalign patients, and that's been Diamond Plus. So the way that it works for us is, we focus kind of on a general sense with the video marketing. It's that 75%. Let's bring these long-term patients into the clinic. Eventually, these patients, with the trust of the clinic over time, these things coming up naturally, doing the right things. Having the right conversations with the patients when it's their time that they need certain treatments, they're going to become an Invisalign patient. They're going to need an implant. But there's the other side of the spectrum where you're actually, drawing those big ticket patients off the street, not from your patient base. I'd argue that like drawing them from your patient base, a trusted patient base, would be a higher conversion. And
you do both.
You can do you can do both now, and that's sort of what things are evolving into in dental marketing. It's what strategy are you using? A full stack strategy, because you need healthy SEO. We're talking organic traffic. People are searching, so we want to make sure that we're capitalizing on that search marketing. And then, into the whole paid traffic conversation, your AdWords and all that. What do people need for a website these days?
Yeah, I mean, for a website, really what it's all about is the traffic generation, like you said. Obviously, there's the other part of it, which is conversion rate and making sure that when people do find your website, it's easy and accessible for them to get in contact with you, and it's not cumbersome and it's easy to use.
Yeah.
All of that's a given. But really what you want to be positioning yourself where people are searching for you. And that is where Google Ads and SEO comes in. Google Ads is a great solution if you're a new clinic and you want to get new patients right away. And SEO is a great long-term strategy for driving patients organically, essentially permanently, or until someone takes that top spot from you. Even then, you're still going to be on the first page getting all that traffic. And that's going to grow your patient base for years to come. It's more of an investment. You don't have to keep investing into it once you've claimed that spot. With Google Ads, though, you can get the result immediately, but you have to continue paying for it in order to do so. But it's extremely powerful, especially if you're coupling it with social media ads, because that's going to drive all the awareness that people have never heard about you. And then when they do go to search for the product or the service, you're there on Google as well. And they really do work hand in hand.
So like on the actual, what content would you suggest practices need on their website?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most important thing is having an extremely dialed service page. So if you're wanting to generate new patients for emergency or for Invisalign or implants, you need to make sure that content is the best piece of content that Google can serve the person searching.
Yeah,
that's really the game.
What's Google doing? Let's dive right into that. What is Google doing?
Yeah, Google works for the person searching. So when someone goes to Google and they want to get an answer, it's Google's job to give them the best piece of content to answer their question. And really, we're just trying to fulfill that need. We're trying to write the best piece of content that answers all their questions, includes a video, includes the FAQ, includes a way to get in contact, plus having lots of reviews on your Google My Business so that Google knows they can trust putting you in front of that person searching, and they can kind of achieve the result of being the best place to find information.
And like I've heard numbers that, like 50% of that of the SEO is dependent on regular and healthy reviews. Is that still true?
It's all based into the trust aspect. So SEO is broken into three things. It's the health and speed of your website. It's the actual score of your content compared to all your competitors' content. And then last, your trust score, which is based on your reviews and backlinks. And really, in order to get to the top page, you just need to make sure your website's fast and easy to use. You need to have the best content, and you have to have more backlinks and trust than everyone else. And you will guarantee that top spot.
Lucas, what the hell is a backlink? I know, but I'm just serving you up an assist.
No, for sure. Backlinks is simply just another website linking to your website and really just kind of rubbing off the trust that website has on yours. It's kind of like getting a patient referral. That patient is more likely to work with you simply because someone else said, hey, we trust this dentist and you should go check them out. That's what a backlink is. It's just another website saying, hey, we trust this other website. Google, you should too. And the more trust your website has, the more your website's going to rank up Google because it's going to have that trust factor.
And now, like, what in terms of all these other, like RateMD, Facebook, all these other platforms that you can, like there's content there as well. Those ratings too, those reviews too, they count as well.
Absolutely. I would say that social media, like backlinks, are weighted less because you can have hundreds of posts linking to your website, and Google just inherently does that less than, let's say, a Daily Hive post or a local newspaper publication. Those websites have an extremely high trust score. They have lots of backlinks themselves. And when they refer you, you're going to get a very strong and powerful backlink signaling to your website. And if you can get 5 to 10 of those on your implants page or your Invisalign page, that page is going to rocket up Google because it has so much trust behind it.
So, Lucas, who do you know that can help you out with that?
Absolutely. That's where that's where Fire Media Group comes in. That's exactly what we do. That's our bread and butter for dentistry is we help get you to the top of Google so that you can get that permanent flow of organic traffic turning into patients. We actually find, like, for a lot of our Invisalign customers, last year, one of our customers, we did over $1 million through the Diamond Plus system. And that was a combination of SEO, Google ads, and social media ads. And SEO is actually about 50% of that revenue. We did have to build it up over a couple of years of dominating keywords like Invisalign cost, the location name. But now that we have it, we're seeing just a steady flow of new treatments coming in. And really the beautiful thing about it is when you advertise to social media, you're advertising to a cold audience. So it's really hard to get them to buy. Mm-hmm. However, when people are on Google and they're searching for implant cost or Invisalign cost, they're actually looking and wanting to buy the product. Mm-hmm. So we find when a customer or a lead comes from Google, whether it's paid ads or SEO, they're like 70, 80% likely to actually move forward with treatment because they're already that much further down the buying journey. Where when we do social media advertising, it requires a lot more hand-holding and really just lead nurturing. And like I said, the buying cycle is a bit longer. But Google and SEO is super powerful. And it's really where you should be putting your money long-term. And
it costs more.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, the results are there.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, if you have all these things stacked together, they all in tandem bring down their costs.
Exactly.
In the collective.
Right?
Yeah.
Another way to look at it is like on Google for Invisalign, it might cost you $200 for a conversion on Google Ads, which is an expensive lead. But if you close half of them, it's a $400 acquisition cost. Mm-hmm. However, on Facebook, you can spend the same $400 and get twice as many leads. However, because they're cold, you may only close 10 to 20%. So it does still all equal out. Really, the difference is Google's going to give you really high quality inbound leads at a lower volume. You're not going to get as many leads. However, with Facebook, you're going to get way, way more leads, but they're going to require more hand-holding and a longer buying journey. Mm-hmm. However, if you have really good video ads versus a standard $500 off stock image, you're going to get leads significantly cheaper. You're going to build trust with your audience because it's you in the ad explaining their problem, the solution you have to offer, and why they should choose you. And that makes the entire buying journey easier because that's really the reason people choose their dentist for implants and Invisalign.
It's trust.
It's not the $500 off.
No.
It's not the fancy office. It's a factor. But really, it's like, do they trust the people they're going to go see?
Yeah.
And do they think they're going to get what they want out of it?
Because like I've shown you, like I've run both types of advertisement.
Yeah.
I've done the video that like it's genuine. It shows the clinician. It shows the audience what they're all about, and match those like real data, like match those up side by side with some sort of static stock image result, and like it's night and day. It's 2 to 3 times more effective than just finding that stock image, that the same offer that everybody's offering right now.
Why should they choose you if you're all the same?
Yeah. And now that I think it's like an Invisalign campaign where they're like, oh, here you go. Here's all the list of things that you can offer. Mm-hmm. When you flip, like I get the algorithm, right? I'm like getting,
I see all the dental
I
ads.
get fed, like Facebook's like, one day we're gonna get this guy. But I get them all. Like I'll scroll through like 3 posts from my friends, and then I'll have a dental ad.
Yeah,
and I'm not even kidding you. It's the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm. So when you think about like that type of advertisement, if you're getting lost in that white noise, it's like you're getting fed the same ad. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
So now if people are like, their attention spans are at 0, you want something that stops them.
Absolutely.
That's the key, right? When it comes to that video portion. But yeah, again,
it's even on another front too. It's like, what kind of leads do you want to attract? Do you want to attract leads that just want $500 off and they're price shopping? Or do you want a lead who's like, I have this problem. I really trust this person's going to fix me, and they make it affordable? Then it's like you're checking all the boxes and it's an easy sell.
Because you want, like, at the end of the day, you like these clinics. Yes, they want to do. They want to be a Diamond Plus, like Invisalign provider. Drives the cost down, et cetera, et cetera. It's cool. You get like the little badge and stamps and the trophies and the accolades. But at the end of the day, you want those patients to keep coming to the practice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, like, obviously we have a philosophy and we see that it works, and we see all this, the white noise, and it works too. It must be working because it's it's so out there. Like it seems to be pushed, and there's a few other folks that are, doing dental advertisement video that's just specifically for for the Invisalign, orthodontic treatments, right? It's listen, I get it. Like let's generate some profit for that business. That's super important. But when we think about dentistry, this is my worry. This is my worry. Like I see all these wonderful medical practitioners. I just like it's turning into this sales game almost, right? And like it's important, but it could be done. I think it could be done classy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like let's keep these folks coming back to you. Let's build like, to me, I envision like I tell the story of dentistry like with the podcast, and I see so many good people coming through and they want to do good things, and I think that's the story that the advertisement should tell. It would be great. My vision one day will be, and this is already happening. Like I've referred multiple patients to some of our clients, our mutual clients even. And, dentistry is different now. Like you can go and get a treatment, and yes, there's some discomfort. There's nothing fully comfortable with people like doing things in your mouth.
Never a blast.
It's never a blast. Well, it can be, but like now there's so much technology involved. There's so much great training. It's a different game. Like going to the dentist is not. It's not like it used to be,
No.
So you can have like a real an enjoyable experience, and oral health is so important. So, what kind of tangent are we going off here? Like we're just loving the dentistry.
Exactly. And one thing I wanted to touch on is kind of the advertising style, and there's kind of the stock image $500 off option, and then there's the super salesy talking head, buy my stuff option, and
with the little are your teeth hurting?
All the slides,
like a guy's like, oh, hurting teeth guy.
And they both work, but I do think, like, I agree with you. Like dentistry it's a healthcare business, and it shouldn't be like slimy sales, and it shouldn't all be about undercutting your competition.
Like keep it classy, San Diego.
Yeah, exactly. And really, that's where I think the dentists who are going to stand out. When I look at like a lot of the dental celebrities in the space, like they're not talking about their sales or anything like that. They're talking about the great work they do.
Yeah.
And because they talk about that, the people who want to get great work done naturally align and find them.
They're selling lifestyle. Yeah. We did the tooth mist thing, and we highlighted some of these guys, and they are all about selling the dream and the nice smile. It's a difference maker, really. Like you see some of these folks, like my favorite. Oh, look, I just have the camera on me here. Awful. Sorry. That was only for the last 20 seconds.
It's all good.
Yeah, you see some of these like before and afters, like the videos of these people seeing, what it must have felt for them to have the smile that they did. And being so self-conscious of that to like having this real nice, beautiful smile, and they're like the immediate reaction after they see themselves in a mirror, that's really freaking cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
So that's my view of dentistry. Like if you can take care of patients and let that be your focus, and focus on, making your practice a really nice place to be. We didn't even touch on the front end, end piece to the smart marketing. Let's talk about that next. But if you can create like the atmosphere, take care of your team, and really create this real comfortable environment. I'm doing a podcast with, I'm excited about this. I'm going into Dr. Leanna Luntz, JVR's practice, and they're kind of like, they're our poster child of just like they're just killing it. Like they're doing so well. Their patients, like over the last 4 years, they've like built a huge expansion. They've got every single cool piece of technology, but they've done it by like they really care. They like really care about each other. Like they treat each other like a family. They treat their patients like white glove service when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
And another really cool thing that they do is the community is super important to them. Like getting out and giving back. Let's face it, like the folks that are blessed with having a successful practice, they do well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dentistry, it's a good business to be in when you're doing well. So if you're able to then like give back to the community and like it's I think that's kind of the circle of life when it comes to the business.
Mm-hmm.
And like can we move on from this cheese ball? Like I don't know. Anyways, that's our philosophy. There's multiple philosophies out there that work. We might not be like the touchy-feely, like happy, community type feel. That might not be for everyone. Maybe you just want to like make some bank and like that's cool too.
Yep.
But we're also providing
a blend of both. Ideally.
Yeah, like I think we're providing. Well, I don't think, because you were talking about like smiles and what work's been done there and their success.
Absolutely,
they're killing it because of
it's come a long way
of the things that you've put in place and whatnot, right? So, front end.
It's a great segue.
Front end.
Yeah. I think that's the real bottleneck of
Careful,
clinics.
Careful, because we love everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And everyone's important. And we touched on like, the white glove service, bringing somebody into the practice, that's the front end.
Absolutely.
So there's all sorts of stats that are floating around out there that, calls that are coming into the practice, 35% of them are going to voicemail. That's because the front end is servicing the people in front of them.
Exactly.
And that should always be that.
I find working with dentists, because I think it's with any business, there's always a disconnect between marketing and sales.
Yes.
And it's always immediately finger pointing. The leads aren't good enough, or they're not answering the phone, or whatever it is. And I think finger pointing is just the wrong way to go about it. I think the role of the front end is so important because they need to be dealing with the people in the clinic, and that should always be their priority number one. However, when you start bringing in 20, 30 leads every single day and you're just piling it onto their plate, that's not really fair to them. How are they supposed to be successful, and how are they supposed to?
They can't be. Yeah.
They can't be. So that's really why we've designed Diamond Plus. After working with so many dentists, we realized obviously for most clinics, they can handle the hygiene side of business, because just people coming in with calls and getting it booked in. It's very simple. However, when you're bringing in 10, 20 leads a day for Invisalign or implants, you need to have a 10-minute long phone call with them to understand their needs, understand their insurance coverage, and what does affordable payment look like for them before you even bring them into the clinic. So that's what we've done for our clients. We've created, I think the secret sauce really of Diamond Plus isn't necessarily the video ads. It's an important aspect of driving leads, of course. It's not the sales software we use to manage and nurture these leads into warm, ready to start leads. It's actually that personal touch of our team physically calling the prospect and the patient and having that very personal 10-minute long phone call about why they need the treatment, going through their insurance, and making sure that everything is ready, and we just hand off a ready to start patient to the front end desk so that they don't have to worry about all the paperwork and calling the insurance company. We get it all done for them so they can just do their job well, which is serving the patients in front of them and making sure they're having the best experience possible. And that's really where we work together. And I find it's not really fair, like I said, to dump all of the sales on the front end person. They're way too busy, and it's also not really their job.
Yeah. Where
we can really take that from them and just do that whole process to get them to really create the throughput that a clinic needs to be successful.
And, it's not just, us that are working on this sort of process. Like there's other, agencies that will just do this field work and call, like receive these lead calls from the marketing and then deliver them. I think that's the way that things are going.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Big groups are doing that. They'll have call centers.
Yep.
Right. So, part of delivering a white glove service is, what's the setup at the front end? And now, Dan was with us.
Yep.
Justin, Dan is Berry AI. Justin, his care crew, both of those fellows were with us at the PDC. Another crucial part of this working, your ROI for your marketing, that conversion rate increasing. So we can send these patients all day long. It's how are they being fielded at the front end?
Absolutely. It's
so crucial. And that's the difference in between, the marketing working very well and not, right? Again, like we're such a, this society is just like now. So like, what is it with like a website? If it doesn't open up in 2 seconds, people are just
drop off,
dropping it off. So how can somebody sees the advertisement, they click on something, they're getting immediate, like they're being fed immediately. If you're dumping them into some long-winded forms, I don't think forms serve a purpose for a patient coming through, but if it's too lengthy, you're going to lose them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and again, so the front end, the systems, the automation of that front end, so that like not only are we helping facilitate some of these marketing calls that are coming through, we're actually implementing software and technology in the front end that actually enhances
makes their lives easier,
the front end's capability, and like marrying all of this stuff together. We can't do the dentistry.
No, but we can do everything else.
That's up to them. I don't know. Like, I would love to grab a high speed and give her a shot, but like, full respect to what they do, right?
Absolutely.
So if we can, our job over the last 5 years is to really, we've wrapped our heads around like how the heck can we maximize our advertisement, maximize what we're doing in terms of our services. And then, I think over the last 2 years, it's been how do we help out the front end? And because at the end of the day, I think marketing agencies fail because they can't define what conversion is. So it's like, what am I spending my dollars on? So like
lead gen only works if the lead is warm and ready to buy, or you have someone there ready to handhold them through the process. And that's the only way.
And handholding the patient, right? Like it's, and again, like when it comes to like going to the practice, I would argue that a lot of folks, like, they're hesitant, they're anxious and going to the dentist. So the more comfortable you can make that workflow seamless and educate and like really nurture, like build trust in the beginning stages, that patient's going to be more sticky.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then of course, once they come to that treatment, when they're leaving, it's, if you had a good experience, please leave us a review. Like in this day and age, like we want to attract more folks like you to our practice. Your review, they probably looked at the reviews coming to the practice. That needs to happen. And a lot of the software automates that, makes it easier.
Yeah.
And then, when can we get you back? I pre-book my haircut the next time.
Oh, me too.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, and a lot of that is like teaching the hygienist how to do that in the operatory before patient leaves the chair.
Exactly.
Hey, like, and preemptively open up these softwares make that easy now, right? So just open up the, whatever it is, Care Crew Recall Max, or even your practice management software, and have that set like 6 months. Can we get you in, like, this you're here Wednesday, does Wednesday work again? Like, at least get them into the schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then
just being proactive.
Yeah. Like, cause once that patient gets up and starts walking out of the clinic, they're not thinking about being there anymore.
They got it done.
They're hightailing it out. They've got like their kid's soccer practice or, school or whatever that might be. They're like, people are just kind of, once they finish a task, they're gone. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyways, this is fun. This is like a real fun.
Absolutely.
Like, we have a purpose. I feel like we have a real purpose in the industry. It's been cool.
Yeah, and what we're doing is working.
It's working,
making
which is nice, right? It's just like
it's the cherry on top.
Shit, we took a lot of their money and nothing happened. That's
Yeah.
like it's really cool to look back, look at some of these dashboards. Like that's another thing too. I would urge practice owners to really understand what they're paying for. Typically, marketing spend per new patient is around the $350 mark. To give you some sort of benchmark, good agencies will do them for even less than that, right, Lucas?
Mm-hmm.
We've probably got them, in some cases, in some practices, down to like even $40 for that hygiene or restorative patient.
Yeah.
How much should folks be paying for an Invisalign patient?
It's a great question. Depends on what lens you're looking at it from. If you're looking at it from just a purely like pay per lead, on Google, it's going to be $200 for a conversion on average, depending on where you're at. Whether it be very high quality, and they're probably going to come through and become a patient. On Facebook, I've seen leads anywhere from $20 to $100, but it really depends on how good your video ad is. Is it a stock image? What is it highlighting?
Yeah.
Those are the things, those are the variables that are going to make more people convert, bringing down your cost of lead.
And also like meta, your demographics, your, the whole back
your targeting, your location. Are they too far away? Are they actually in your clinic?
Like it drives me nuts. Like we're here in Vancouver. Recently, I've seen an ad for a clinic in Calgary.
Yeah. I see it too. I'm like, what is happening with this account?
That you might want to like, I feel like calling that clinic and saying like, listen, looks like you have a great clinic.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to fly out 700 kilometers or drive out to see you. That's money being wasted.
Absolutely.
We've got like people are just like, look, we 10,000 eyeballs saw your thing, right? So understand that the true ROI on your marketing spend is those patients walking through your door, and that's your metrics. Like if the company has a hard time defining, and sometimes it's hard because a lot of like sometimes it's up to the front end team to like really define who's coming through the door. And you got a good text message there?
Well, I was going to go over just kind of more metrics. So like we kind of covered, really the way I look at any business is kind of like your sales and marketing throughput. Where are the bottlenecks? So there's kind of 4 stages. There's the traffic, the funnel that they land in, the sales system, the actual CRM, and then the salesperson. Each one of these things need to be working effectively and efficiently in order to maximize your marketing investment.
Do you have like a graphic up on your phone right now?
I don't. I do have a graphic I can show you though that we use to illustrate this example.
Yeah, send it to me. I'll bring it up on screen. But keep.
Yeah. And really like the advertising in Google, it's a fairly easy thing to solve. If you have a good video ad and you're targeting your location in your community, it will get seen. It will get traffic. If you're targeting the right keywords on Google that have high intent and people are actually searching to find your product or your service, you will get traffic that's qualified. That's great. Then are they landing on your website and just clicking away because there's too much content and it's hard to read, or not mobile optimized, or the form is 5 scrolls down to actually contact? What is stopping them there? And if you have those 2 things working, then you have leads effectively entering your CRM, and then it becomes your sales process. And from there, once they're in the sales process, are you emailing them the right messaging to reaffirm their decision and remind them that you're going to be in touch shortly? And then on the sales side, do you have someone following up quickly? Or is it personal, or is it just a random call center from a foreign country and they're not even speaking the right language and it's just they don't know dentistry? Or is it someone who's dedicated to your clinic, knows your product and service, talks to every patient the same way, does the same patient process? And if you can have all of these things, the traffic, the funnel, the system, and your salesperson all working in the same direction, that's where you're going to see putting in $1 into your advertising, creating $10, $20 on their side. But if you have all of that and your salesperson's slow, or you have all of that and your landing page sucks, you're going to be ruining all your chances. So you need to have all of these things in order.
It's super important.
Yeah.
And some people are spending a lot of cash on their marketing. At the PDC, like somebody was like, I'm dumping $7,000 into Google every month.
Mm-hmm.
And they were getting 20 patients out of that.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
a lot for us. Yeah, usually we try to do $2,000 to $3,000 to get 20 patients.
So there you go.
So it's a big difference in how you approach it.
And there's always like a long series of questions to ask when somebody says that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many pieces.
It is context. It's what type of treatments are they marketing for and all those things.
Yeah, like a lot of people will throw up these metrics, but like it's really like when we get into it with some, like a new client onboarding, it's really dialing in and understanding what's at play here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's happening at the front end, like what software are they using, which complementary software are they using, like in terms of, you know, recall system, automation.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are super important. And, you know, there might be, you know, an investment like $500 to $800 for a software, but if that increases your marketing ROI from
it's a big lever.
From two conversions to 20, that's not an outrageous number. I've seen that.
No.
Giving your front end team the ability to not only convert those patients, but then bring them back. Because a lot of people are great, like they might be great at bringing the patient in, but they're just kind of leaking out the bottom of the bucket.
Absolutely. And a great example of this is when we first started doing like social media ads for Invisalign, we were getting 40, 50 leads every month, but they were maybe closing one treatment. And we're like, that's a terrible close rate. But then we look back at it, the front end person is busy. They don't have time.
Yeah.
And as soon as we implemented a dedicated sales rep and a proper qualification process, now we're doing 1 to 3 new cases every single week. And it's it's game changing to your revenue and to your staff's just time and how they work inside the clinic. That's really the big difference there. And I was going to read off some stats here. So last week, this is a report for one of our clients. We did 26 leads generated, all for Invisalign. We booked 9 consultations. All of them are pre-qualified for insurance, payment plans. And then we had 5 treatment starts. And 2 are from Google Organic, 2 are from Google Ads, and then 1 were from Facebook Ads. So that's kind of how it all breaks down.
Keep talking.
And once you have your whole funnel and throughput, the traffic, the funnel, the sales system, and the salesperson, this is what you can kind of expect. Is it's just going to be this steady stream of new high ticket treatment starts like clockwork every single week, every single month. You'll get a report. You'll see these new people coming in. And that's really what we offer you. And really, like when I look at these results, it's a combination of all 3 of these traffic sources. They all work together. People will see your ad on Facebook, and then they're going to go to Google and search for you maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. And that's where you're going to get the sale. And we track all of this. We track, did they see your Facebook ad first and then Google you next? And we can see exactly which traffic sources are bringing you the best return on your investment. And we'll continue doubling down on that until we achieve the goal you want.
Yeah, just so in summary, and we're you know, I know you got to go here, so I just want to say this one last part here, and then we can wrap this up. But if we didn't make it abundantly apparent that, you know, obviously having the right pieces in terms of your marketing strategy, your marketing stack, coupled with, you know, front end software automation, you know, how are the front end's ability to like to contact and field all of these leads and not letting anything drop off. Now there's, you know, the ability to take that sort of that sales piece off the front end team and services like Diamond Plus. What I would, I hope this conversation is kind of like, it will be eye-opening to anybody that's watching, especially, you know, practice owners, practice management teams, that, you know, and I think everybody obviously gets it, right? But let's list them off here. So, you know, in a marketing strategy, having a healthy, genuine video for social media marketing.
Yep.
Dentist on Demand. That's what we do. Just, you know, I'm obviously going to give a plug there.
Get that, yeah.
Fire Media Group, search marketing.
Search marketing, getting patients through Google. And
then you were talking about, you know, tackling the 75% of the practice, which is, you know, in a general practice is, 75% is the restorative and the hygiene. That the 25% now is now we're talking about Diamond Plus, the Invisalign and the implant business.
Yeah.
And that there is, it's a sale. It's a different type of patient, especially if you're pulling them in off the street.
Yeah.
It's getting very commoditized. So there's a lot of offerings out there now. So how is yours different? How is yours genuine?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have the hook on a patient that's, this looks like my spot, making that next step for them simple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a simple form. It's a one click. They're picking up the phone and talking to somebody. They're getting the information that they need to now then book them in. And Dan from Barry AI gave me this number. If you don't capture that person within 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes now. It's not we're not talking I'll get back to you in 24 hours. It is 5 minutes you have. That's the golden opportunity. You're 21x have more of a chance to bring that patient in.
It really is game changing.
It's game changing. So what do you have there to capture them in 5 minutes?
If you do everything else right except for that, it'll still not work.
You got a chance, but you're losing 21x.
Yeah.
If you can't, then they've seen everything, and like you said, you're doing everything right. The website's beautiful. If they don't have that connection into the practice, and they're talking about selling the dream and moving them to the next steps to being in the practice, you're probably going to lose them.
Yeah.
Because why? Because people are just getting blasted.
Yeah.
Now. They're our attention spans I would argue are under attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can get so much information fast, and if we deem it to be low quality information, that's why Google works, I guess. It's their fault. It's Google's fault, right?
Yeah.
But they've nailed it by really putting that high quality information in front of everybody.
Exactly.
And our eyeballs are going to stop on something that's more appealing rather than just a stock. We're living in this day and age where everybody's I don't trust anything anymore. Growing up as a kid watching the 6 o'clock news now, you see it now. It's they're sensationalizing everything, and and then they pop onto their marketing. It's onto commercials. Anyways.
Yeah, no, you're right. In the world of everything being commoditized and being automated, the one thing you can't commoditize and automate is your personality and how you connect with others. And that's really the whole point of the advertising and the way we're going at it.
Yeah, so our philosophy is just, be yourself.
Be real.
Be real, be genuine. And if somebody comes to see you because you're yourself, that's a long-term patient. And I think that's what dentistry is all about. It's all about, and we're, back to how important oral health is. The dentist is an advocate for that patient's well-being. Yeah. They see it. They see that they're supposed to go to the dentist every 6 months, and they might go more frequent depending on, their oral hygiene. They're in a perio program. It could be every 4 months. But that medical practitioner, they're going to see that medical practitioner more than any other doctor on the planet. So that's who I would aim to be if I was a general dentist. It'd be, Lucas, how are you doing? Let's take a look. I'm gonna cover everything in my spectrum. Obviously, I would go to every bloody course, every CE course, and because I want to be fully capable of handling everything in the scope of general practice for that patient in the chair. And there's a wide range of things that they can do for people. And I think it's amazing. If we talk in terms of you catch somebody with sleep apnea, you can see their bruxing and grinding teeth. you're asking the right questions, and now they're going for a sleep study, you're actually putting more years on their lives. That's cool. That's cool. That's
what you want out of your doctor or healthcare professional.
Yeah. And I understand that like it's a capitalistic society. We want to make cash, and especially in Vancouver, the cost of living is stupid.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. And I get it. You want to like, but if I think every successful practice, every successful dentist, specialist, everybody's wrapped into this. Everybody that's done the right thing has been successful in my eyes. Yep. Like they're educating themselves, especially like I've talked to tons of veterans that have gone to every CE thing, like into their later stages in their career. And that'll keep the joy in it too. The more you can do in the practice, the more you can help people, the better. Like I'm going off on a tangent here. I know you gotta go. I apologize.
It's okay.
Lucas, thank you so much for coming in.
It's been a pleasure.
It's I'll talk to you in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the hell out of you. Thanks for all your help with everything that we do. I only hope that I give you as much value.
Absolutely.
You're a great friend. I'm gushing. I'm gonna start crying. You're a great man.
Thank you.
To get a hold of Lucas, how do we get a hold of you, Lucas?
Yeah, if you're looking for search marketing, go to firemg.com and we'll take a look at your website, audit your SEO, and really give you a marketing plan to grow your patient base. And if you're looking for more high-ticket treatment cases like Invisalign implants, go to diamondplus.ca, book a discovery call with me or one of my team members, and we'll build the right marketing plan for what you're looking for. I look forward to chatting with all of you. Thank you again, Marc, for having me. It's been great to be on the show again.
Yeah, we'll have to maybe do this on regular. I was going to see if I was going to be quick on the fly and bring up your website, but
next time.
You know what? This was an impromptu.
Yeah.
We were busy filming stuff this morning, so we was like, hey, let's just do this. Let's just hop on. We had no plan here. Thanks again for listening. Check Fire. What are you?
Fire Media Group.
Fire Media Group. You've changed that so many times.
Yeah, I know.
Fire Media Group and Diamond Plus, of course, Dentist on Demand for your full spectrum of dental marketing.